Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hebrew Canaanite YouTube channel. My name is Alon, and today I have with me again my lovely girlfriend Tamar. Hi, Tamar.
Hi.
And today we want to just tell you about an experience we had yesterday, just last night. It was mainly something that I went through, but Tamar was present and she was part of what was going on, and she can also illuminate what was happening. And the long and short of it is that during family dinner, I mentioned Gaza, and the chaos ensued. Yeah.
It's an accurate way to put it. Yeah.
Yes. And this is not something that is new. This is not the first time that something like this happened. And we are now very well versed in how all of this works. And we think that this is a very good example. Like when people ask us, how is it that so many people in Israel are Zionists? How is it that almost everyone is a Zionist? How is it that almost everyone supports the atrocities going on? We think that this is the answer.
Yes.
You can give many different answers on different levels of abstraction, but on the very concrete level, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason why people go along with cults, with structures of systems of oppression, with atrocities. It all over the spectrum of oppression, this is how it works. And this is why we feel that it's a very important subject to discuss and a very important case study. Okay? So Tamar, you have anything to say before we begin?
Yes. So it's a personal story, but it's a personal story that conveys very important political messages. And at the end of the day, it really shows that personal, political is not two different things. It is the same thing.
Yes.
The personal is political. The political is personal. Personal, it's been said, but this is really something that shows that, I think, firsthand, just how much that is true and how much they're intertwined and interconnected and not separate things at all. And yeah, I think, like you said, when it comes down to it, the reason why people support atrocities and go along with this, the norms, even if the norms are horrific, is that it's too difficult not to.
Yes.
And it's too difficult socially not to.
Yes, you just need to pay such high personal prices for going against these systems that the vast majority of people just choose to go along because it's just too difficult to continue resisting.
Yes.
Okay, so before we start the story, so I don't know, I'm not feeling up for high energies and stuff like that, but click like, okay, click the like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, share other videos from the channel with your friends, join my Patreon if you want to help me continue doing this and not be dependent on my father and my family financially. This will come up during this story. This point will come up. It's maybe one of the most painful points that personally painful points that I will that we will discuss.
And it also, I think it complements, if we already did kind of like a promo of the reason people go along with this is
Yes.
this is the complementary part, material benefits and
Yes.
the material rewards that one gets, social and material rewards that one
Yes,
gets for going
but-
along with the norm.
But you say material rewards, material benefits, as if it is some kind of extra. But the thing is that if you go
Yes,
against the
that's not how I
system,
mean it. Yes.
if you go against the system in a way that is consistent enough,
Yes.
in a way that is principled
Principle.
enough,
Mhm.
you will lose your livelihood.
Yes.
And if
yes.
you lose your livelihood, you cannot live.
Yes, absolutely. It's not like extras. It's not
Yeah.
like, yes, it's
So it's not
yeah.
about like when people say about Zionists that they continue to be Zionists because otherwise they will lose their privileges. There's two parts to this. One part is, yes, there's like extra privileges that will be lost, but
Yes.
I think in this current situation, if you are an anti-Zionist, you don't just lose your privileges, you lose your life. Okay, it's like it would be very, very difficult to continue living, and most people are not in a situation where they can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
And now in the chat, someone is saying, unless you move out of Israel. But this is also like, if you go against Zionism and you lose your livelihood, you don't have money. If you want to move to a different country, you need money. Otherwise, in our world that is divided into states, which are different mafias controlling different areas, it's very difficult to go to a country that you're not a citizen of and be a refugee. Then you will be even more heavily oppressed. So the point is that it's not so simple.
Yes, you can stop with it at some point.
Yes.
The way that I have a job, and in order to have the job, I am not speaking up.
Yes.
And so this enables me to have the means to move away, to move to another country, and it's possible. I mean, it's not easy because you have to start from zero, and having, if you have your life here and your friends here and your family here, then that is very difficult to do. And in terms of family, it doesn't really matter where you live. If you lose your family, it's hard no matter what.
Yes.
Even if you don't live in the same country as them, because it's it's their mind, it's their consciousness, it's their soul. I don't know, that you can't be in touch with, or that you lose. Yes, that you lose.
Yes, and we will do as a part of the series that we will start soon enough. Okay, we
said it several times. Yeah.
We said several times that we will start it. We're still, it's still in the making. We still have to think about how to do it exactly and how we want to approach it. But in this series of Total Liberation, I think not only an episode, but maybe a lot of the time will be about telling you concrete stories of political silencing that we experience, to understand if we want total liberation, we need to dismantle systems of oppression.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to dismantle systems of oppression, we need to understand how the systems of oppression are, how they work, and how they keep themselves, how they protect themselves. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of defense mechanisms, and we need to deconstruct these, and those personal stories as representative examples of how the systems work are very, very important. And I think Tamar has several stories that she can tell you about how she tried to speak up, even very mildly, okay, at work, and she was immediately shut down very aggressively in a way that made it very clear that if she kept pushing, she would be out of a job very, very soon. Do you agree with this description?
I think so. Yeah, I think absolutely. I mean, I said I think so, but I was still in my mind playing it out. If I were to be my gentle self and mostly silent, but if I were to really speak exactly about the things that I know, and then absolutely, no doubt about it. If I were to completely speak freely, then yes, they would definitely find a way to fire me.
Yes.
So
And sooner
yeah,
rather
so
than
far,
later. I
even
think.
the things that I said are really just only a fraction of the things.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
things
same.
like things like I object to the bombings in Gaza. Like just
Yes,
this.
yes.
Just the very mild,
Mhm.
and someone in the chat is saying moral issues are real, but they aren't enough if there are structural obstacles preventing moral decisions from being realized. And we
Yes.
agree completely.
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
the system is set up
Yes.
so that
Yes.
moral behavior
Yes.
is punished while immoral behavior is incentivized.
Yes.
Okay, and once the system is designed in such a way that the incentive is to participate in the oppression and you get punished
Yes.
for resisting the oppression, then we cannot expect
Yes.
people to actually make the right choices.
Yes.
This is why we came to the conclusion that we need radical change. We cannot just
Yes.
talk to specific
Individual
people,
changes.
individual
Yes.
people, and ask them to make individual changes.
Yes.
This will not work.
Yes.
Only structural change will truly bring an actual change. Okay, actual change where the world is actually a better place and people can
Yes.
actually have moral choices. This is
Yes.
the problem with, or one of the problems with oppressive systems, that they prevent us
Yes.
from being moral agents,
Yes.
from being truly moral agents. There is no sense of there is no, the discussion about morality becomes very, very detached
Yes.
from reality when these systems exist.
Yes, right now the system is set up in such a way that usually the moral choice is the one that is punished rather than rewarded. And there's many cases in which it's impossible. It's not even possible. It's not even. Sometimes it's maybe possible theoretically, but you'll go to jail or something.
Yes.
So it's not truly a possibility. And then moral choices becomes a meaningless term.
Yes.
You cannot say it's moral or immoral to do something if you have literally no choice in the matter. Then it's just necessity.
Yes. Or if the
order
choice
to-
is an illusion in the sense that
Yes,
the other
it's not a
choice
true
is
choice.
suicide or you know
Exactly.
or extreme
Yes.
extreme damage to your own life.
Yes, exactly. We encounter it so many times, and some examples are really concrete. Like, for example, I see a truck with cows, and I know they're on the way to the slaughterhouse, and
Yes.
I want to stop them, and I think
You need to warn me after before talking
Sorry,
about it.
yes. And I feel that I have a moral obligation to stop that truck because I know that these
Yes.
cows are going to
Yes.
get murdered, and I am a witness to it. And at the same time, I know there's absolutely nothing that I can do.
Yes.
I can't stop the truck. And even
Yes.
if I were to somehow stop the one truck, they
Yes.
would take me to jail, and then they would take another truck in order to
Yes,
get
it
those
would
cows.
be it would have zero actual effect on the world,
Yes.
except for you losing your freedom.
Losing my freedom, exactly. So then that's just like such helplessness watching this, or other cases which are much more mild than this. When I'm looking to buy ethically in all kinds of ways, for example, clothing, or for example, other items, and I want to make sure that it doesn't entail any slavery. And for example, also coconut cream. A lot of the times they use monkeys and that are being held on chains to collect the coconuts.
Yes, they are slaves. They are
It's
literal slaves,
Yes.
chain slaves. Like the most explicit picture of a slave that you can
Yes.
imagine. This is what it is.
So it's a horrific form of slavery.
Yes.
And I don't know which brands. I mean, there's some lists of brands that are ethical that don't use that, but they're like, for example, they're not sold in Israel. So I just don't buy it. Okay. But like, for example, this is the system where, okay, this is a choice that you have. None of this should include that. And then you can just go and buy anything without any moral problem, without it making so difficult. And it's so not transparent as well. Like, for example, in terms of the clothes, where is it made? What are the conditions of the people making it? I don't have that information. And even if I have the information about one particular thing, like, you don't have the time and resources to find this out about every single item and every single material and every single thing that you buy in your life. So these are systemic things that there's a lot of obscurity, you just don't know it. So of course this does not absolve you from personal responsibility. So if you know for a fact that it's immoral, then obviously don't buy that. I mean, this is obviously why we're vegan, and this is not to say, oh, it doesn't matter if you're vegan or not, because this is obviously
because
very
being
direct.
vegan, there's no damage to your life. Your life
Right.
does. I mean, we will tell you about like social. This is part of the discussion. How you are being policed socially. This is also difficult. Being vegan or being a principled vegan is quite
Yes.
difficult. But you can't say that it's so difficult that it's okay not to
Yes.
to buy animal products just because you don't want the discomfort of
Yes.
being vegan. Okay, this is not the kind of thing that we're talking about. We're talking about losing your freedom, going to jail,
Yes,
stuff
no.
like that.
Being vegan is not hard at all in that sense.
Yes.
But I think, the comment was really correct, that it's both about individual choices and moral choices, but also systemic change. And only individual choices cannot change the world in the way that it has to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think before we start the story of what happened last night, I need to mention briefly what happened. I think it was a year and 4 months ago, a year and 3 months ago, something like that. So there's an episode of the One State Solution podcast. I will send you the link to the episode. You can look at it afterwards. So we had an episode. Elik and I spoke about another case where I tried to speak about what was going on in Gaza with my family. This was, I think it was February of 2024. And again, Shabbat dinner in occupied Palestine. This is the name of the episode. And this was, okay, so this was March of 2024 is the episode. So maybe the actual incident was on February of 2024. So this is the link to the episode where we talked about the previous experience of policing from my family when I mentioned Gaza. And 1 second, I need to put the troll in timeout. When you get bigger, the trolls start attacking. And you want to tell the story briefly? Because I got a comment that I have a lot of trouble being succinct. So maybe you can be succinct.
Okay, let's try to remember. But about being succinct, I think there's something about the same things are being talked about over and over and over again on some kind of surface level or with a certain level of depth, and it's being repeated. I think there's something about going really into details and going into like a deep dive analysis. Mm-hmm. That I think is, for me, has been one of the things that really transformed my thinking. Mm-hmm. As long as I stayed on the surface level, I knew it's like this, more or less. Like I didn't think about all the specifics of it. I think there's something about really the specifics and going into the detail, and this takes a long time. That only has the power and the ability to really transform your thinking in deeper ways. Some people maybe don't need it, and they can just understand the right things more intuitively or just more succinctly. But I think there's a lot of value, when you really go into the specifics and then from like, oh wow, I never actually really thought about this. I never really checked it. I kind of took it like as a cliche, but now I really understand that. I think I just want to say, I think there's a lot of value in that.
Okay.
But when it comes to stories, maybe some of the details can be left out.
So you were being not succinct.
Yes.
While talking about being succinct.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe you can tell the story the way that you remember it. The story of last year.
Yes, I have to remember. I can tell it very shortly, and then if you want to add any more
Yeah.
details back in, then we can do that. So it was a family gathering, and we were just talking about this and that, and
It was actually after my grandfather's. It wasn't a funeral, but like memorial. It was I think 7 years.
so this is
since
like,
he
for
passed away.
example, yeah, this is for example not relevant, I think, to the
Yeah.
story itself. So
Yeah.
that's why I left it out. Okay, so we're talking about this and that, and then Alon's sister mentioned a friend that she had from Rwanda, and this is how they got to talk about the genocide that was there, and we talked a
Yeah.
little bit about it, realizing that we don't know much about it. And then Alon said, okay, what exactly was the sentence that you said?
I remember.
there's,
I remember.
and there's
sentence.
genocide going on here, and my family supports it.
Yes, and my family and my family is ignoring it, and some of them are supporting it, and some of them are participating in it.
Yes. So this is in the context of a conversation that we're talking about genocide, while
Yes.
ignoring completely the fact that there's one going on right now.
Yes,
And,
1 hour, 1 hour's drive away from where we were.
So Alon said this in a voice tone loud enough so everybody could hear, but
Yes.
not yelling or anything like that. He said it. And then Alon's brother-in-law, so the husband of the other sister, actually, not the sister that was talking about it,
Yes.
got up and started like packing the things, and it was like a little bit of confusion. We didn't understand what's going on,
Yes.
and trying to understand, are they leaving because you said that?
Yes.
So then we thought so, but then Alon asked him, wait, are you leaving because of what I said? And then he said, yes, I will not be around when things are just being said, or something like this.
Yeah.
He
said some pseudo clever thing about it's not because you said it, it's because I don't want to answer you, or something like that.
Oh, right.
Like,
yeah.
They always invert everything in like weird ways.
Yes.
Passive aggressive shit.
Yes. And then your other sister, and then I think, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but you started getting upset because they were leaving, and that meant also your grandmother was leaving because she was coming with them.
The way I remember it is that I said this sentence, and like 30 seconds later,
the room was empty. Yes.
Everyone left.
Yes.
Like I was like, what the fuck just happened here?
Yes.
And it was like that. It was as if it was like automatic.
Yes.
You know, there was like tak 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 tak. This was I said it, and then things started unfolding in a very automatic way. And this is another point that we want to make clear with this story. Like, one of the things that is a question that is really, really hard to answer is whether the servants of the cult are doing the things that they are doing in a way that is self-conscious, or is it automatic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like how aware are they of the way that they are serving the cult?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the answer is subtle, nuanced. It's not so simple. It's not either this or that. But the way that I see it, like the image that I see in my mind, is that there is like this structure that is almost conscious. The structure of the cult is almost conscious. It's weird.
The structure, not the people.
The structure is conscious. And it's like
has a life of its own. You mean?
Yeah, it's like an organism that has like a will of its own and
great adaptability and flexibility.
Oh, it's genius.
The genius manipulator.
Yes, it's a genius manipulator, and it's controlling puppets. It's like a puppet show.
Yes.
And I don't know. It might seem mystical what I'm saying here, but it's really hard to deny when you experience this.
Yes.
It's really hard to deny that this is the way that it works.
Yes.
Everyone is doing their job perfectly.
Yes.
And every single person that is participating in this show is absolutely certain
Yes.
that they are operating of their own free will, and but no, it's just not true.
Mhm.
They are servants of the cult.
Yes. So to continue and finish the story and to talk about what's relevant to know for what happened last night,
Yes.
is a whole drama ensued. You can watch the episode if you want to hear about it. But basically, both your sisters and your brother-in-law were angry with you,
Yes.
and your parents didn't interfere.
Yes, they didn't take sides.
Yes, they didn't. And then afterwards, it was clear that there would be no family dinners. That there was like this atmosphere of like the brother-in-law does not want to be in this. It was mainly him like pushing for this, that he is not willing to have any more dinners together with Alon, as long as he at first at all, and afterwards as long as he talks about it. So then after several months of this, and with many appeals from Alon's dad to him, that maybe he could agree to not bringing the subject up at all anymore, so that we could continue having family dinners, because
yes, for several months there were no family gatherings in my family because of this incident.
Mm-hmm. And most pressure was put on Alon, because I think in a way when you're the minority opinion, that's where the pressure points are being put. That's the person who needs to fold. That's the person who needs to compromise, or who has to I don't know, to change or to let go of their position. So rather than putting pressure on the brother-in-law to say, no, you should come. I mean, you can't force him anyway, right? If he refuses to come, and if he's the one basically putting up conditions for continuing. And since he is also with, so he's married to Alon's sister, and at the time they had one young daughter. So it's an integral part of the dinners. Doing it without them, it would really be a big change. So I feel like that these were several of the points that he could use to his advantage, and therefore most of the pressure was put upon you. And under this heavy pressure, at the end of the day, he said, okay, I will not talk about it. I think how exactly did you say it? You agreed to not bring up the subject so that we could continue having
basically mainly because my father, I saw how difficult it was for my father, that the family is being torn apart by this, and I was like, okay, I will come to the gatherings, and I will not mention Gaza. This is under duress.
Yes.
I agreed to this.
Yes. Okay, fast.
And this was a year ago.
Yeah.
This was around a year ago. Okay, and ever since we had not the same frequency of family gatherings and family dinners, but we continued meeting, and I was very cold towards my brother-in-law because he was like the main culprit in this.
But no, I don't agree. I don't think you were very cold.
Yeah.
You kept your distance. I think I was cold.
Yeah, you were more cold.
I was like, I didn't want to say hi. If he like turns to me specifically, I'm not going to ignore him, but I'm not going to go even like up to him and say hi or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And you were just like polite, you were just polite.
Yes.
Not overly friendly, of course, or something like this.
Yes, I was the minimal level of polite for like civility. I was civil.
Yes, I mean, there's many things in between. We had a phone conversation with the same brother-in-law afterwards. Doesn't matter. It's many more things.
There's a long story. It's a long story.
But a lot more was said and etc. Anyway, yes. So this is the way that it has been ever since. A complete radio silence.
Yes, I never mentioned Gaza until an incident around a month ago, I think.
Yes.
And we want to talk about that incident as well, because this is the most extreme example that I ever experienced for this, puppet show of this that the system is playing. Okay, I think if we analyze that case, and I wanted to make an episode about this, we just didn't get a chance to, and now there's like more to the story. But I think this was just an amazing example. I think at some point this will be a scene in a movie or a play or something, because it's like so representative of of how it works. It was, I felt like I was in a movie. Okay.
Yes.
And what happened was that I mentioned my friend Muhammad, who also appeared on Alex channel, on our other podcast Yala, where we interview people, and we interviewed Muhammad from Gaza. He lives in Dir El Balah refugee camp in Gaza, and he told us about his life, and we had a discussion about the politics of Palestine and about the One Democratic State initiative, which we all belong to and support. And at that time, he started writing about how he was starving, just about how it feels like to starve, because he is a very resourceful and intelligent person. And when shit started hitting the fan following October 7th, he saw what was going to happen, and he got a lot of supplies and
Canned food.
Yeah, like canned food, a lot of canned food, and he put a lot of food in the cupboard of his family, and that meant that he and his family were able to not experience extreme hunger until very late into the current stage of the genocide of the Palestinians. But it runs out.
Yeah,
Everything
who
runs
thought
out.
it would still be going on right
Yes,
now?
and I'm sorry. And at some point they ran out of food, okay? And he was just writing posts on Instagram about how he is starving, how it feels like to starve. And then we had a family dinner. This was around a month ago, okay? I can't believe I'm talking about this. I can't believe that this is what is happening. I can't believe that this is what we're talking about. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
They were actually in this.
I can't believe it.
Actually in
I
this.
cannot believe this. I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
I cannot believe this.
And it's yes, I know, because when you're talking about it now, you cannot but remember that this is what it is, that this is what it's about. It's not you.
And they behave as if
yes, this is why.
I'm the problem.
This is the confusion that you feel when you're there. You feel like, oh, I'm making trouble, I'm the problem. And
you have not experienced gaslighting until you experience the gaslighting of Zionists. It is the most extreme form of gaslighting.
It's next level.
They can commit a genocide and make you think that you are at fault for talking about it.
Yes. Yes.
So before we went to that family dinner around a month ago, Tamar and I were talking, and I told Tamar, I cannot be silent anymore. I cannot. But Muhammad is starving. I cannot be silent anymore. And I don't remember what was the context. We already forgot most of the details before we do the episode. We will because we sent like
the price hikes and stuff like that, and then we said why. It doesn't matter. I don't think we should go into it now, just because to.
So I mentioned it and I started talking about it, and everyone around the table did their job in silencing me. And for 10 to 15 minutes, I resisted. And then at some point, I saw that this was futile, that I cannot continue. And I said the following. I said, I will stop talking about my friend Muhammad, because I said again and again and again, my friend Muhammad is starving. My friend Muhammad is starving. My friend Muhammad is starving. I said it again and again and again and again and again, and they manipulated.
How they say, like, oh, don't talk politics. This is not politics.
Yeah.
What's political for you is personal for someone else. And in this case, by even saying my friend, they still regarded, oh, no, it's not really, it's politics.
Yes, the fact that a friend of mine does not have food is
Yes.
politics. And
Yes.
therefore, it does not belong on our dinner table.
Yes, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So, yes.
Yeah, someone is saying it's absolutely a Twilight Zone episode. You know what? I think even the most talented writers of dystopian science fiction cannot imagine something as sinister, as horrible as the actual world. Okay, they cannot. It's
Yes.
beyond any
all
scope
the
of
fiction,
the imagination.
all the fiction trying to make dystopian worlds doesn't even come any close to the real world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So they manipulated and manipulated. I was like, there were 7 or 8 people in front of me, different characters. Each
Yes,
one
it
had
was
their
because
job.
of the extended family, so you could really
Yeah.
see each and every person's role and the way in which they do it. You have the aggressive one, you have the passive aggressive one, you have you have all different types. We'll talk about
Yes, but it was like a
separately.
multi-pronged attack.
Yes.
And I was like, my friend Muhammad is starving. My friend Muhammad is starving. My
Yes.
friend Muhammad is starving. And then
That's all you said, and you didn't yell at all.
no,
And
I didn't yet.
They upped the intensity more until like you literally like you were spoken over.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
that's a different episode.
And yes, it's a different episode. The last thing that I said was, okay, I will shut up now, but the last thing that I will say is that this is that what is happening is the same thing that happened in Nazi Germany. It's the same thing that happened that caused the murder of grandpa's entire family. I mentioned my grandfather's entire family. I said, this is the way that they managed to murder my grandfather's entire family. And now you are silencing me for speaking up against this.
Yes.
And I will shut up, but just because you're silencing me.
Yes. Yes.
So and then I stopped talking.
Yes. It was physically impossible to
to
continue. Yeah.
There was nothing to be done. There was nothing to be done.
Yes.
Can you continue telling, because I'm
Yes.
having,
Yes.
trouble.
So I'll start telling the story from yesterday. I'm gonna I'll get to the point of where it started blowing up, and then we can get into kind of like the analysis of it. So we were having a family dinner. This was with not the extended family, but just with the parents and 2 sisters and the brother-in-law and their 2 young children. And so it was already after dinner, and we're sitting down and preparing for coffee and dessert, and we were handing out like a cake that I made, and then someone said, "Well, I can't eat anymore. I'm so full."
No, I need to tell something before. In this dinner, everyone who came brought something. Okay, I made a nice tofu dish, and Tamar made a cake, and my mother made soup, and my father's partner he made like rice and faux meatballs, like not real meatballs, because we don't condone this. We will not be in the same room with chopped up corpses of murdered animals. So we made a nice faux meatballs dish, and there was too much food.
Mm-hmm.
My sister.
That always is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but this was like extreme. My sister made like vegan pizza,
Oh, right. Yeah. And you made pasta too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Loads
and
of
pasta.
food.
Everybody
brought
it
like
was
a lot,
way too much food.
Yes.
Way too much food.
I mean, yeah. So he said, yeah, he likes leftovers, but yeah, this was the situation.
And I was stuffed, and everyone else was stuffed, and it was just too much food. It was mentioned again and again and again. Oh, it's too much food, so much food, so much food, so much food, so much food.
Yes.
And every single time someone said too much food, or that I thought in my own mind, too much food, I could not help
Yes.
but think about Muhammad, okay? And the people of Gaza in general.
And also that same morning,
Yes.
you just read this post by Muhammad, which wow, it's such a difficult story to read, because he was telling the story of him going to a distribution point where they're handing out the food. So he's
Yes.
really describing the whole experience of going there. And yeah, maybe you can link to his Instagram as well, so people can also follow him. He's an amazing person.
Yes, please follow Muhammad on Instagram.
And read the story that he
link to his,
posted. This is my story, he wrote. And
Yes.
and it's just you're just reading it and you're like, this is like a Holocaust story about.
Yes. It's just like the stories we heard on Holocaust Day, that they pushed into our minds of what the Holocaust was like.
That you have to endanger yourself and every person for themselves in order to get food, because otherwise you will starve.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yes.
So yes, you had just that morning read that story, so that was also something that was fresh in your consciousness.
Yes, I will link to Muhammad's Instagram.
Yes, follow him, please.
Instagram profile.
He's got really he writes very good texts as well, like very good analysis of the situation. He's a very, very smart person.
Yes,
very,
yes.
very
One of the most eloquent and intelligent and aware people that I personally ever met in my life.
Yes.
And you know, under such harsh conditions, he still remains positive and active, and
it's unbelievable.
It's inspiration.
Yes,
inspiration.
yes. So yeah, that was the backdrop of it.
And so but I need to bring this point home. This is like,
it's insane.
It's insane. We have too much food. They are starving, and because of the fucking wall and the physical wall and the metaphorical, I don't know, political, military wall that is the structure of Zionism, that is the concentration camp, that is the Gaza Strip concentration camp. Now it's a fucking extermination camp. This is what it is now. It's an extermination camp. This is what it is.
Yes, and we can't do anything.
And we can't do anything about it.
We have all this food.
Yes.
And also I saw a post of someone who was writing that he doesn't have any food anymore, and he's feeding his cats now lentils, and you know, he grows his own vegetables. Maybe you know him, Ahmed the farmer is a 9-year-old boy or something like this.
Yeah, the sweetest boy you ever saw.
Sweet. And he posts these videos about how he grows the vegetables, and this is how they survive. And he's got these 2 small cats and doesn't have food for them. And I think, and another person who is actually a vegan, and his whole family was just murdered.
Yes.
Was just bombed, and now he's just by himself. And he already wrote about how he doesn't have any insulin. He's got diabetes, and I have insulin for my cat here, you know. And I'm like, we have all this food and we have all these things, and I can't give it to them. I can't do anything to help them. And I just like, I'm just gonna get in my car and drive there, but you can't.
Yeah,
but you can't.
So someone wrote, you can fight. What?
How?
This wall is guarded by thousands of heavily armed soldiers. You wouldn't even reach the point where they need to shoot you.
Closed bases.
They will just take you and put you in jail. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
We don't have the numbers here. There are
maybe
a few thousand people here who think like us. That we cannot do it.
I thought about
they are too powerful.
You can't it's not. You can't just go they're just close off.
This is the best that I can do. This is the best that I thought to speak about it publicly. This is the best thing that I can think of doing. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I cannot do anything.
Yes. Can go there as a symbolic act only, but
it would be performative. It would be a performative act. Maybe that's good. Maybe I should do it as a performative act. Maybe I should do it as a symbolic act.
But they won't get the materials. They will not. They will not get it. Even an organized thing by the organization that had it all organized, they can just block them if they want to. And they had many, many people and many, many trucks, and they just block them if they want to. 1 person, 2 people would go with their car. They'll laugh us in the face.
In the chat, someone is saying they held flotillas, okay, with like crew
Yes.
and weapons and whatever. They
Yeah.
couldn't do anything. Come on. The Israeli army is one of the most powerful armies in the world, and it is completely supported by the US army, which is by far the most powerful army in the world. You cannot do it.
Cannot.
This is the craziness of this situation. The only reason, the only way that we can stop it is a revolution. The genocide will stop when a revolution happens. This is why I'm calling for a revolution.
Yes. Yes.
You want to stop the genocide? Let's do a revolution.
This is the only way.
You want to stop the genocide? Let's do a revolution.
Yes.
Hey, don't talk about politics. Don't talk about politics.
Yes. Yes. This is one of the ways in which they try to trivialize it. Yeah.
Okay, so I kept thinking about this. I couldn't help but thinking about this bizarre, grotesque.
Yes.
Just again, if you try to write a story that is the worst dystopia that you can imagine, it would be nothing compared to this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I kind of imagine, because I'm not in your head,
Yeah.
you know, and I think I'm sometimes, it depends, but sometimes I'm better at repressing it. I cannot think about it. I cannot let it get to me, because if there's nothing that you can do, it's just gonna make me feel so horrible.
Hmm.
And so you just, like, you're there and like you try not to think about it. But I think so. Imagine what it was like for you, and in your head, how this was like building up and up and up and up, and again and again and again. They say how much food there is, and then so by the time we got to dessert, and someone said like, "Yeah, it's really tasty, but I don't even have any more room." This is when you got up and you just sat at the kitchen table. Like, we were sitting at the living room at that point, and you sat at the kitchen table, just like trying to, I don't know, like gather yourself, just because it was so overwhelming just to think about Muhammad and to think about this huge contrast that there is. And then so people were kind of like gesturing to me like, oh, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him?
Oh, really?
Yes. Like Shaked, like your sister, sorry, and your mom were like, so.
What do you mean? What's wrong?
So no, this is, but I think this is important, because this is the level of disconnect that there is. They had no idea. It wouldn't even come to their mind. Like, what's wrong with him? This is how removed they are from the situation. Like, I understood. Yes, of
Yes,
course.
of course. You understood immediately.
So I didn't answer them. I just got up and I sat with you, and I talked with you a little bit. And I think this is when afterwards I went back to the living room. It's like all in the same space.
Yes, and we talked, and I think that like we had a private conversation, but I think they heard, like they overheard.
We're not like whispering, and it's like
No,
it's
we
right
weren't
next
whispering.
to it, like the kitchen table, and then you have like the living room's right next to it, so you could hear this. Yes, I don't know what they heard. I don't know. They're talking amongst themselves, and the children are there, so you know.
And my father also asked what was going on with him. He turned to me and he asked what's going on with you.
This is when I really went
and
back to
and
the
I
living
told
room.
him what I told him, that
This is when you're both in the kitchen.
no before.
Oh.
He came to where I was sitting at the table, and he asked what was wrong with me, and I told him, I cannot tell you what is wrong with me. I told him, I cannot tell you, and I think he understood immediately.
Yeah.
Why I cannot tell you.
Yeah.
Because they forced me to not speak about it.
Yes.
And then, like a few minutes later, I was, I got up, and I was like, okay, what can I do? Because Tamar was helping me, and I don't know what I would do without Tamar. I don't know what I would do without the support of Tamar. And okay, so we were in the kitchen, and my father was standing next to me. I don't know, washing dishes, whatever. And I told him, you want to know what was going on with me? What was going on with me was that I thought about how we have, I told him exactly, how we have so much food, too much food, and Muhammad, my friend in Gaza, is starving. This is what I told him. And then we started speaking about it, okay? We started speaking about it,
What did he say? I actually didn't know this part. Yeah.
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But we
But
started.
he was just basically saying, yeah, that's
Okay.
Yeah, because he's not a person. He's not going up against that actively. He'll just listen. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we started talking about what was going on, and I think it was my father who mentioned Israel Katz. Israel Katz, who
He
now
mentioned him.
I think he mentioned him.
Wow. Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah.
And his new humanitarian town, the concentration
Wait,
camp
but
within
he
the
mentioned this as like good thing.
No, of course
Oh,
not.
okay.
Of course not. We were talking about what was going on, about how crazy things are. And my
Okay.
father understands that things have gotten to a very crazy place.
I see. So he was saying, okay. Mm-hmm.
Even though my father is a Zionist, okay, he is a Zionist, and we will tell you about what happened later. Even though my father is a Zionist, he can see that what is going on in Gaza is horrible. He understands this and he acknowledges this. Okay.
Yes.
So we were talking about this. Okay. Not loudly, okay, not loudly. We
Not
just
loudly.
had a conversation about it.
I could hear it like in the background, but it was because I was trying to kind of see what was going on there.
Yeah.
But you could easily not hear it. I didn't hear really the contents. I heard a word here and there.
And my brother-in-law was on the other side. He was like in the bedroom with his infant son. He was. This is like the other side of the apartment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But Nazis have a good ear for dissidents, and then he shouted. He shouted.
No, he didn't shout.
He spoke. He said it loudly. Okay.
You heard it. Did you?
I heard it from the other side of the.
I mean, I heard it, but I wasn't sure if you heard it.
I heard it.
Yeah.
I heard it.
He didn't shout it. He said it.
He said it, but he said it in a voice that is just loud enough so that I hear it. His intention was that I will hear it, even though he was talking to my sister, supposedly.
And other people were talking at the same time, like in parallel. So
Yes.
It was like.
But I heard it loud and clear because he meant
really?
for me to hear it. Yes.
Oh wow, okay. Because I was sitting like really close to him, so obviously I heard it. I came up later to you to tell you that that's what he said, but you told
Did he shout, "Hey, no politics here"? He said no, but he put more stank on it. He did it more passive aggressively.
Yes.
And it was more hurtful the way that he did it.
Yes.
He said, didn't we agree that we wouldn't bring these things here? Like that. I don't remember the exact quote, but it was like very dismissive, like
these
again,
things or something like
Zionists
do this here anymore, something like this. Do this or something like this.
Like narcissists in general and Zionists especially are very, very good at speaking between the lines and saying extremely hurtful things between, like saying something that is supposedly innocuous, but putting a lot of stank into it. Okay, I am not good at it. I'm on the spectrum. I am not good at speaking between the lines. Okay, when I say something, it's clear what I mean. But he is very good at having plausible deniability. But this was hurtful. This was like he knew that he had a metaphorical knife, and he knew how to put this knife in my belly, and he did it intentionally to cause what happened next.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard it, and I continued the conversation with my father because I was like,
But he didn't just say it. As he said that, he started packing things up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He said this to his wife, to your sister, in order to signal to her, we're leaving. And I got the impression that she was a little bit resistant to it at first. She was like, I think this is my interpretation, that she was like, yeah, I mean, if as long as they're only speaking in the kitchen and they're not making like a public thing, I think she was a little bit resistant to I don't care, his name is Ol, to your brother-in-law's very swift reaction to right away say we're leaving because he heard half a word from across the room.
Mhm.
I think at first she was like, let's just like wait it out.
Yeah.
But like he was like pushing it, and he said it in order to say like, I thought we said we wouldn't do this nonsense anymore. Like this, like a.
I just want to say I'm looking at some messages in the chat and I don't understand exactly what's going on. But sexism will not be tolerated in this channel. Sexism will not be tolerated in this channel. Okay.
So if someone wants to say if there's any sexist here, then we can just put them in
anything
timeout.
Anything that plays into the patriarchy will not be tolerated here. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. This is a channel that is about total liberation. Total liberation means the complete dismantlement of all oppressive systems. We do not tolerate sexism here. We do not tolerate anti-LGBTQ feelings here and statements here. We do not tolerate it here. Okay? We are about total liberation, dismantlement of all oppressive systems. We do not bring those oppressive systems here. Okay.
Anyway, so if anyone needs to be put in a timeout, so let us know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
yeah, if someone needs
hard
to be,
follow. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't understand exactly what's going on.
Yes.
Okay, but
so let's try to focus on the conversation because it's hard enough as it is.
Yeah. I know. But I saw something. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, this is what was going on, and so you said you heard it, but you continued talking to your father.
And then my conversation with my father just fizzled out. You know, it reached its natural conclusion. But then I asked Tamar, did Ol speak about me? Was
because I
he
came to you in the
about
kitchen.
me? Because I wasn't sure exactly what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked Tamar, was he speaking about me?
Mm-hmm.
And Tamar was like, yeah. And then, you know, I got upset.
Mm-hmm.
I got upset. And I made a mistake, okay? But it's like, this is the thing, that all of this kind of, the way that the system orchestrates everything through its servants always puts you in situations of double binds.
But it's a tactical mistake. It's not
Yes.
a moral mistake. It was a tactical mistake.
Yeah. Morally, I was absolutely.
It was only a
in the
tactical
right.
mistake in the way that afterwards everything can be pinned on, as if Alon is the one who started it.
But again, yes, it was only a tactical mistake. But the point is that this is a game that you cannot win. You cannot win. It's.
But it keeps you wondering, if you would not have done that or said that, then how would it have played out? But I guess it wouldn't have mattered in the end. Anyway, all you said was that you said to Ol in response, like I forgot exactly what you said.
So what I said to him, I'm just thanking a fellow Hebrew speaker here who expressed their support.
Mm-hmm.
This is very rare to have
Nice.
Hebrew speakers who express their support here. So so thank you for this. This is it makes us feel less lonely.
Yes.
Indeed.
Nothing. Yeah, you're right. Anti-Zionist. Yeah. Anyway, so what did you say to Ol?
So what I told him was,
and Alon said this so that obviously it was from across the room, so everybody could hear this.
yes. So what I said to him, oh, we agreed on this, like the Palestinians are willfully leaving. This is what I said. And my point, I'm sure you follow my point, but let me make it very explicit. And this is an important point here, okay? There is this kind of fractal nature to these systems of oppression, okay? And the way that Zionism as an entity, as an organism, as a mega organism, is the Ofi, the character of Zionism as a mega organism is also expressed in the specific character of its servants. And it's like, okay, so what does Zionism as a system, as a project, as a process does is it forces its will on the indigenous people of Palestine, on Palestinians. It forces its will, okay? And they always distort the language to hide how forceful this is, okay? How this is, so they say, so the expression in Hebrew is aziva meratzon, willful leaving, okay? They leave willfully.
Like in 48.
In the Nakba in 1948, in the War of Independence of Israel, the story is that times were there, it was troubled times, and the Palestinians, many of the Palestinians decided to leave willfully.
Out of their own volition?
Yeah, so they were just like, yeah, we don't like this place anymore, we'll just go.
Or some kind of, either out of their own volition, or also in other contexts.
Yeah, voluntary migration.
And I think
Thank you, Oli.
This is true for many of the ceasefires that they agree to, and as if it's like a enthusiastic agreement from both sides. But of course, if you have power relations, and if you have one party that has all the power, which is Israel, then the weaker party, when they agree to something, it's under duress, it's under pressure, and it cannot be considered. I think it's kind of the same principle that now they're using in terms of when something is sexual harassment, or when something is sexual assault, is that you don't want to look for agreement from a woman, but they call it like enthusiastic agreement, or enthusiast, or like wanting, like active wanting. And this is in order to guard from situations in which someone in a position of power will use this and say, oh, but she agreed. But you cannot call something agreement when it's done under undue pressure.
Yes, and within power relations and under duress.
Enthusiastic consent, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And okay, and they still use this expression of voluntary migration. They want this is the plan of the Zionist project, the plan of the Zionist system is to make life so unbearable for Palestinians within between the river and the sea, anywhere between the river and the sea, so that all of them migrate voluntarily.
This is what they're aiming for in Gaza. Yes. They're making it so unlivable that I think this is what they're hoping for, that they'll leave somewhere and they'll be, I don't know, maybe Egypt, or I don't even know what they have in mind.
Yes.
They'll just leave, and this is this will then be claimed as they agreed to. So
yes. And I would not be surprised if they learned it from their OG teachers, the Nazis. I would not be surprised to find the quote of Goebbels saying that the Jews are willfully leaving. Willfully migrating. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if this is an invention of the Nazi propaganda machine.
Yes. So when you said fractal, maybe this also to explain that word, is that the way that it happens in the macro situation, that you claim that something is agreement when actually it is coercion by force, and you're forcing the other party through duress, through undue pressure, to agree to something because they really have little choice. So in the micro, this is what happened when Alon agreed to shut up about it, agreed to not talk about it.
Yes.
And this was again also done from a position of uneven power relations, which in this case was derived from the fact that, like I mentioned, that Alon has the minority position. So always whoever has the minority position is already perceived as being the one that's making the trouble.
Yes, but it's also relying on norms, which we talk about a lot
reliance on norms,
in this channel. What are the norms? The norms are that in the family dinner,
yes,
we are respectful, we are polite, we don't talk about politics, right? We don't talk about
yes.
politics. We don't talk about
take it
politics.
out of the equation, exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And this is very convenient for liberals, which is again a kind of Nazi. So liberals want to not talk about the genocide and the Holocaust that they are committing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they don't want to talk about it. Carnists don't want to talk about the Holocaust that they are inflicting upon cows, pigs, chickens, sheep, goats, ducks, etc.
It's impolite. Yes.
It's impolite to talk about it.
So this liberal politeness.
Live and let live. Live and let live.
Yes.
Live and let murder.
Yes, exactly. Let us murder, and you have to shut up about it. So that's the liberal politeness that's being misused in order to maintain systems of oppression. So yeah, this is how Alon agreed to it. And now, of course, a year later, Alon's using this. So the brother-in-law is using this.
Yes, my consent. Yes,
Alon's consent that he supposedly gave, which he is now breaking. He's now breaking.
Yeah.
The
So
agreement.
now I'm the one who's. Why are you doing this? This is so impolite. It's not what we agreed to.
Alon
It's not what we agreed to, and now we can behave in indignation. How dare you break the agreement that I had?
Yes, exactly. That he forced upon us. And if not, the alternative would have been no more family dinners. And like your father, like you said, that really suffered from that. And you did it out of a sense of like goodwill towards your father. And then the good thing, no good deed goes unpunished, as they say, is now being used against you because you agreed to this. And I also want to say as well that, again, you spoke to your father in the kitchen and he very easily could have ignored it.
Yes.
Very easily. I am convinced that he used it as an opportunity to blow it up.
Yeah, he was just waiting.
That he was
for
looking for an opportunity.
Yes.
That he must know on certain, not quite in the depth, but on the surface level that what's going on and what he is part of is so horrific that he cannot stand any mention of it. So he has to completely clear the field of any word of this immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it could easily have been the situation in which, as if he didn't hear it, and if he would have heard it, it's not like it was being discussed in the whole group of the whole family. It was between Alon and his father. They were talking together in the kitchen while parallel conversations were going on in the living room.
There was a question here in the chat that I want to answer. People already wrote some answers, but I want to make it very clear. So the question is, it starts with the word respectfully, but I don't know if it's phrased in the most respectful of ways. Alon, respectfully, what value do you derive out of airing personal dirty laundry on the internet? The first thing I want to say is that airing dirty laundry is something that the Zionist cult, this is an expression that I know, and I know this expression because I was born into the Zionist cult and live in the Zionist cult ever since then. Okay, and this expression is it's okay. You meant no disrespect, but I felt some disrespect. Okay, but never mind. Okay, I'm answering respectfully. Okay, so this is an expression that I know very well, and this is an expression that is used by the Zionist cult, and I would imagine many other cults, in order to keep the horrible things happening within the confines of the cult, inside the cult, and not to shed light on them from the outside, because the thing that is most dangerous to closed off cults is where the outside world sees what is going on inside. And immediately after October 7th, where everyone around the world started talking about Palestine so much, what I felt was this is something good happening. Of course, the genocide was an atrocious aspect of what was happening after October 7th, but also there was a good aspect for what was happening, which is that the entire world started speaking about what was going on in Palestine and about the Zionist cult. And I knew that this is the beginning of the end for the Zionist cult, because I also knew that what was keeping the Zionist cult together is this secrecy, is the fact that people do not understand what is going on here. And I knew that the moment people started understanding is the moment that this starts dissolving. Okay? And now, almost 2 years later, you see how everyone hates Zionists. They are the most hated people all around humanity. Okay? Okay. So I do admit that there is some psychological comfort in talking about what is going on here with people from outside the cult. I feel that I am very, very lonely in this predicament of dealing with such a deranged group of people that is committing a genocide and silencing anyone who speaks up against this genocide. I admit that it helps me psychologically to have this support from all around the world. I admit it.
But it's not just psychologically. This goes hand in hand with morally, because if we were to experience this thing again and again and not tell anyone about it, then I think over time we may start believing, wow, we are the problem.
Yes.
And this is exactly the kind of the goal. I'm saying it in parentheses, not because it's in quotation marks, not because it's not really the goal, but because it's not a conscious goal, but it is the goal of this kind of behavior, and it is the goal of the political silencing that's going on here, to make you doubt yourself, to make you be quiet, and at some point you may even start changing your mind back again, like, oh, maybe I am wrong, maybe, like, how dare I speak about that? How dare, I mean, just earlier when Alon was telling about, and we were talking about the story and relaying it, about what happened, you go through it and like, wow, like, they're gaslighting us. But if you don't go over this, and if you only keep it in these closed circles, you won't catch it, you won't realize, and you'll start thinking that maybe I really shouldn't talk about it. Maybe it's not such a big deal. And I think this connects to the bigger picture of realizing how atrocious things happen. It really is at the core of how Holocausts can happen, and people get
normalization. It's the subject of normalization. Very important subject.
Yes. And then so when you connect to, in this case, other parts that are outside of the cult, you can get your sanity back. You can maintain your sanity, as well as, like we said in the beginning of the episode, to I don't know, to show other people in other parts of the world that encounter this. No, you're not crazy. This is the mechanism. This is the pressure that's being executed upon you, and don't start doubting yourself. This is what's happening. I think the only way, if we talk about change, how to create a revolution, is create a network of people all over the world that can communicate with one another. Solidarity. I mean, they talk about in psychology, in psychotherapy, how important validation is. And this is so important for a person who comes from a toxic family, to tell them, no, you're not in the wrong. You have been abused. And so it's parallel to that it's really important to be able to connect to people. And unfortunately, in this country, there aren't too many. And it's all over the world, to connect to people, to kind of maintain your sanity and to realize, okay, this is what's happening. And maybe very concretely, also some viewers have had fights with their family, and
this is not guess. You're not guessing here. I got messages from viewers and subscribers who told me I had a very similar experience with my family, and you talking about your experience with your family helped me understand more about the experience that I had with my family, and it helped me feel like I'm less lonely and feel like I'm not crazy. I got messages that this were many messages.
Yes.
That this was the content of. Okay.
Because if we all not talk about it, then you can think of it as a little flame. There's a little flame that is Alon, and he speaks up and he's being shut down. And if all these flames all over the world all keep it to themselves, those flames will go out. And if we can talk to each other and realize, oh, this is the mechanism. Yeah, this is expected to happen. This is what they will say. Then the flame can keep going. And And I think this is why it's so important to talk about it. They don't want you to talk about it, and then you should ask yourself why.
The silence is one of the weapons of systems of oppression.
Yes.
And okay, so let's generalize all of this, and this is the most important part of the answer for the question that was asked. The most important part is that we need to understand how these systems work.
Yes. Otherwise, they'll work on us.
Yes. The way that these systems succeed is that they use these tricks, and we are unaware of the tricks that these systems use on us. These systems are good at what they do. There is a reason why these systems persist, why they continue existing, and why they are so powerful. It's because it fucking works, okay? Yes. And one of the ways that it works is that you don't know how it works.
Yes.
The way that you can resist is knowing how it works. The more you understand the mechanisms,
like in psychotherapy.
Yes, exactly.
This is the same kind of the same.
Yes, it's collective psychotherapy.
It actually is.
Yes, and the thing is that things happen, and you get so confused. You're like, what the fuck happened here?
Yes.
Why am I so angry? Why did I shout at these people? Why am I feeling shame? Why am I feeling embarrassed? Why am I shutting up? Why do I feel angry? Why do I feel depressed? Why do I feel sad? Why do I feel desperate? Why do I feel all these things?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have a good explanation.
Yes.
But then when you see how the system operates, when you see the mechanisms, suddenly it becomes so transparent. Suddenly it becomes like, oh, this is what it is. This is what it is.
Yes.
And this validation is very, very important. And if we want to resist these systems effectively, we must understand how they operate. So please listen to this story carefully to understand how the systems operate so that you may resist them more effectively. If you try to resist the system, things like this will happen to you. It will happen to you.
Yes.
It will happen to you, and you should be well equipped to identify these mechanisms, these things. You know what? These things already did happen to you. Maybe you didn't notice, but it did happen to you. And only if you are able to identify the mechanisms and think about ways of dealing with them, will you be an effective dissident against the system. And we want to be dissidents here against the systems of oppression.
So I want to say one more thing, because I saw Alpha had a follow-up question.
Okay.
But I just want to say it. I don't want to get into it, and because I want to get back to the story.
Yeah.
And but he said, I understand, but isn't it time now to act? And isn't talking about it on the internet not jeopardizing this? So there is this thing of that people say a lot. There is you're just talking on the internet, you're just posting posts, and I'm acting, I'm going to a protest. So talking is acting. This is what we're doing, is taking action. Taking action is not only, going and joining a protest or traveling to the border, like I said earlier, that will accomplish absolutely nothing. It feels as if you're doing something when you're moving your body and you're physically doing things. But when I think what we're doing and what you're doing is actually this is action in and of itself. And it's a very important way of acting. And, we think about it a lot, and everybody has their own talents and maybe have other capabilities and things that they can do that we don't. But this is our way of acting. I mean, it's just because it's on the internet. I think this is one of the main tools now that connects the world all over, changing minds and changing the collective consciousness. I mean, it's just, again, it goes back to therapy. Oh, but you're just talking. Yeah, but it changes people's lives, and it's just words. I mean, it's magical somehow, but it works. And I strongly believe in it. And I think we spoke about this. No, we spoke about it privately. I don't think we've spoken about it on the episodes, but maybe we'll do it some other time, a conversation about what is taking action and you're just talking on.
Yeah, this is another episode of the Total
dismantle
Liberation
this kind of
dichotomy
that they want to say, you're just like talking to yourself, and how this is dismissed as if this is not taking action, whereas I think some of the biggest changes happen through this.
How do the systems maintain themselves?
Yeah.
Through propaganda. This is a very important tool of the system's propaganda.
They're just talking. Yeah.
Propaganda is just talking. They're just talking.
Yeah. Direct action, the same thing. I mean, in the veganism as well, there's direct actions have been done, and I've even taken part in them. And I really started questioning their efficiency. I mean, I'm in favor of anyone that does anyone. I think it's a great thing, right? But I think it's a mistake to think, oh, that is real action, and only talking does less of an actual change. I think that's not true. Yeah.
And another thing that I wanted to
but maybe are we not derailing the story too much?
No, because it's important. It's how did you come to learn how it works? How did you come to learn how it works? And my answer is very simple. Challenge the system and see how the system reacts through its servants. Okay? The moment you challenge the system, then the mechanisms start operating, and then you can it's not easy. There are personal prices to pay the moment you challenge the system, but that's the way that you learn how it operates. Listen to others who challenge the system and learn from it, and challenge the system yourself, and then you will experience it firsthand, and then really analyze this experience.
Analyze it. This is it. Yes. It's not only experiencing it, because most people experiencing probably will blame themselves. They probably will be confused and angry, and they'll feel like they're the problem somehow, or they'll just isolate themselves. So I think a really important part of it is analyzing it, and the fact that we can talk about it with each other.
Yes. The fact that we have each other, and that we can talk about it together is so critical.
It took us a long time to formulate, to get to the point where we are, that we're able to formulate it in this way. We learned so much. I think we have had such a schooling in these past year and a half.
Yeah, just so you understand, these subjects, this conversation that you see now is the result of hundreds, thousands of hours of conversations that Tamar and I had together, where we analyze these things.
You really should get paid for this, I think.
Yeah.
He has a Patreon.
I have a Patreon. Join my Patreon. And
we've invested many hours.
The 1 hour or 2 hours every few days that I go live and talk about things, it's not the only work that I do. There's a lot of work that goes into it to understand what is going on. Okay.
Yes. It's really been a crazy learning curve process.
Yeah. And Tamar, 2 years ago, Tamar was very unaware of how these things go on. I was already aware because I had years experience of doing this shit. Tamar also had years of experience, but only in the realm of veganism.
Yes, and I think also because I'm a psychologist, so on the one hand it helps me, but I think in another hand it actually hindered me, because this is very focused on individuals.
Yes.
It's individual psychology, so it can really lead you astray. It can really kind of like further you, not bringing you closer, but rather bringing you further away from these understandings. When you think everything should be psychoanalyzed. Oh, what is your problem? Maybe you have borderline personality disorder. Oh, maybe you should manage your anger.
So let's continue the story, and this will be very apparent, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's continue the story. So I told. The last point that we had was that the macro and the micro are somehow parallel in this system.
Yes.
Zionism uses the consent of the Palestinians and then after they get they use violence. They get the consent, the forced consent of Palestinians to retreat from the land and to lose their property and their rights and their power. And then it uses this consent to keep pushing further and further and further. What happened on October 7th? What happened on October 7th is that the Palestinians dared cross the wall. Why was there a wall to begin with? Oh, because the Palestinians, they just moved there, and then we built a wall. Right? It's the same kind of mechanism. They keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So, because I dared cross the wall, my brother-in-law had to enact revenge and to punish me for doing it. So he did. Okay, so I made this very explicit. I told him, yeah.
Oh yeah, so this is one thing that Alon does.
Yeah.
He makes the implicit explicit, and people
Yes.
hate him for it.
Yes, yes. So one of the main aspects of me being on the spectrum is that I cannot tolerate things being implicit. I cannot tolerate it.
Like ambiguous or yeah.
Yes, ambiguous or implicit or between the lines. And you can say that this is a personal quirk. You can say this if you want to psychoanalyze me, but you can also say that there is a reason why I don't like things being implicit and between the lines and under the surface. Why? Because I know that fascists, Nazis, oppressors, murderers, mass murderers use this implicity to continue their oppression and to not be accountable for their actions. So I hate it, and I know that that everything being implicit caused me to get hurt personally many times. And I saw how a lot of other living beings, whether they be Palestinians or women, oppressed women by patriarchy, or oppressed LGBTQ people, or oppressed non-human animals, their oppression continued and was not accounted for because of this implicity. So I don't like things remaining implicit. I want them to become explicit. And this is why I answered my brother-in-law in the way that I answered him. Okay? And this was a step too far. I crossed the line.
Because, what they did then is they said that everybody, I don't know who, but like it felt like everybody at that point started turning against you because you shouted, because you yelled. And so you had raised your voice and you said it in a clear voice.
Yes.
But they said, we said there's not going to be no yelling, or no, this is. And I think this is the point in which they dragged in their children, that they said that because of the children.
But just the thing that they were doing was they started packing. Oh, we're leaving.
Yes. So like I told you, he already started doing that before, even though your sister was just like, oh, really. But he like.
But then I crossed the line.
Yes, and then started packing up to leave. Wow, from this moment on, I really don't remember. It's all like a blur.
So yeah, you have to understand that these situations they become a blur because you're very activated emotionally, and it's like really difficult to remember what was going on, and everything starts happening automatically.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another tool that the system uses, is that it pushes your buttons. It uses its agents to push your buttons. How did these people become the agents of the system to begin with? Because the system pushed their buttons and made them servants. Yeah. And now the system uses its servants, who might be your family, your friends, your loved ones, okay, to push your buttons, to make you act automatically, okay, to make you serve the system as well. So it just happens automatically, okay. And what happened was that they started using their daughter, okay? And so what my sister and my brother-in-law were saying is, no, we don't want our daughter to hear about such things. This is not new. This is something that they did before in the original, explosion that happened. They also said that the reason that they're doing this is so that their daughter doesn't hear about such horrific things. Okay.
So while the conversation was going on between Alon and his dad, these children. So one of them, their baby, was in the bedroom with the father, the brother-in-law. So absolutely was no way that he would have gotten anything, for the conversation.
Yes.
And their daughter, who is almost 3 years old, was like playing in the living room. So I'm almost 100% sure that she was paying no attention to that conversation, that she was playing or something. I don't know. So I think also beyond the fact that we should ask ourselves, if it's like, why is it bad that you should be exposed to it? And if that's bad, then maybe you should think about what that means. But it was a lie, but it was not even true. It was just made up.
Yes. Yes. And when my brother-in-law told me, but 3-year-old children should not hear about these things. This was like, so my eyes rolled 720 degrees to the back of my head, and I was like, okay, but maybe also 3-year-old children should not be blown up to smithereens. And maybe also 3-year-old children should not starve. And maybe also 3-year-old children should not lose their entire family. Maybe also that shouldn't happen to 3-year-old children as well.
And then I think this is where your other sister started. No, that was maybe a little bit.
No, but now I want to make another thing explicit. In our series about total liberation, we also plan to make an episode about ageism and about children and about the way that parents treat their children. And it is an unfortunate fact in our society that children are treated in a very, very disrespectful way.
Yes.
Children are looked down on, both physically and metaphorically. Children are lied to all the time. All the time. Like my experience as a child, looking back, the perspective that I have is that they lied to me all the time. All the time. They told me that they gave me animal corpses to eat, and they told me that it was absolutely fine. And I remember the moment that when I was 5 years old, where so I don't know, this is an atrocious story, but I remember that one of the things that I loved eating was lashon.
Oh my God.
Yes, lashon means tongue. And I was 5 years old. To me, it was like a thing. Okay, it was a thing. It was a thing that I could, a piece of meat that I could cut up and eat it, and it was tasty.
Did they call it tongue?
They called it. I don't know, but they called it lashon in Hebrew.
Yeah, but like
tongue.
when you hear it in Hebrew, it's like a cut of meat. Yeah.
Yes.
You don't think it's actually a tongue.
Yeah, and then I remember this scene. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember that I found out that it was actually physically the tongue of a cow.
Isn't it crazy though that even when euphemisms aren't used, somehow you don't realize that tongue is tongue?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes, and I think that most people, they don't find it out. At age 5, they never find it out. They never
think about it.
They never even think
about it. Yeah.
But I thought about it. I was like, hold on. I remember I was flabbergasted. Hold on, this is a tongue? This is a cow's tongue? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? I will never touch it again. Okay? Yeah. So this was my first vegan moment. Okay? So I continued eating meat for around 18 years after that. Okay? I don't know, not 18, but like 16 years after that. Okay?
Yeah.
But this was like my first vegan moment. Okay?
Yeah.
And so children are lied to all the time. Children are manipulated all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Children are used all the time. Children are treated as inferior beings, and they are treated as property and as tools for their parents. And their parents will tell you, no, I'm protecting them. I'm protecting them. I'm protecting them.
When we did like vegan protests, and then parents come with their children and they get really angry. Why are you showing this to the children? At the same time, obviously feeding their children the corpses of these animals that we're trying to save.
Yes.
So they really get upset by you showing it, but not by the practice itself. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing how he got angry with you for talking about something that is happening. I'm sure he'll deny that it's happening, and using the children to protect her from knowing this.
Yes, and I believe that you know this meme from The Simpsons. Why won't anyone think of the children?
Think
Right,
of the
this.
children. Yeah.
They don't care about. They don't. It's not about their children. It's about them. Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And they treat parents. Unfortunately, parents in our society treat their children as a narcissistic extension of themselves, and they pretend to be protective of their children, but in fact, they are using their children to protect themselves.
Yes.
How many times did you hear a Zionist saying, we are doing what we're doing in Gaza to protect our children?
Yes.
How many times did you hear this?
I mean, I don't know how many people have Zionists around, but we hear it all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
All
Yes.
the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
So we want to make an episode about this as well, about ageism in general, and about how parents use their children. And I believe that this is a textbook case of this phenomenon. Okay.
And yes, exactly. Not just ageism, and also the way that they're treated as property.
Yes.
Where
my children, my private. This
Yes.
is my sister said this yesterday.
Yes, she did. Yes.
She says, I have a right to decide what my private child hears or does not hear.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What she's saying is, I have a right to lie to this person. I have a right to hide the truth from this person. I have a right to control this person. I have a right to make this person insane like I am.
Yes. And this is commonly accepted. It's self-evident. It's considered, yes, of course, I have a right to do with my child.
Don't believe this.
And I think we should be very skeptical of it. And we should see where is the aspect of really wanting to protect and do what's best for them, and when it's actually being used for control.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Alfalfa is saying, true, but this is not a problem exclusive to Israeli
That's
society.
true.
Well,
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Every single thing we're talking about is not exclusive to Israeli society.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
Fascism is not exclusive to Israeli society. Fascism exists all along human society, all around the world. It's just that there is like a place where all of this became very, very extreme. The narcissism, the capitalism, the militarism, the patriarchy, the colonialism, the exploitation, the racism, the supremacy, all of this. It's just Palestine is a place where this is extreme. You think of the function of this is my mathematician brain speaking. Okay, think of the function of how much oppression there is, how much insanity there is, how much supremacy there is. There is a spike in Palestine for geopolitical reasons. Okay,
Yes.
but nothing that we're talking about is unique to the Zionist cult. Cults are all around us, and this is why we think that this is a very important subject to talk about and to listen all around the world, because this is also happening where you are.
And this is what we're about, because I think maybe there's some people that don't know you also from previous episodes, that even though we're talking about this, we really are for total liberation.
Mm-hmm.
And this means not just in this particular topic, but in all different topics, and it's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you cannot talk about it in isolation.
Yes.
Mhm.
If you just speak about Israel, if you think that Israel is like the demon,
World revolution, yes.
if you think that there is a demon and that is Israel or Israelis or Zionism or Zionists, I'm sorry, you're not just mistaken. You are dangerously mistaken. Okay,
Mhm.
it's like this is the
Then it will
problem.
become another scapegoat, and it's
Yes.
always easy to point the finger
Yes.
at something else. But I think that the important thing is that everybody looks at their own societies, their own families, and themselves.
And themselves. as well.
Yes,
And
exactly.
themselves.
Yes, and all the different aspects in which there is oppression, small and big.
Yes. Okay, so this is another point, and do we want to continue the story, like the part with my other sister, my younger sister?
Yes.
But I need a small break. I will get us like a cold drink, and maybe you can.
Yes, and
answer.
let's think about. We want to do maybe not go over the 2 hour mark because it's
Yes.
going to be very tiring
Yes.
for
Yes.
everybody involved, both us and the audience.
Okay. I will bring us a drink, maybe refer to some questions, and then we
Yes.
will continue with this.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. Any questions? Any comments that I can respond to? I have not been reading the comments so much, so it's hard for me to follow what's going on right here. Let's see. I did want to say something about earlier about what Alon said about explicit and implicit. People that portray themselves as vegans and anarchists but are vile Zionists. Can a Zionist really be an anarchist? No, they can't. I'm not aware of any of that. I don't think I know anyone like that, but I'm not surprised because I've seen all different versions of people claiming to be one thing and then actually holding beliefs that are counter to that. But what I wanted to. So if you have a specific example, we can think about that. But the implicit, explicit, what Alon said. So this is one thing that it's considered actually by neurotypicals and by the mental health profession. So obviously there's autism that is low functioning. So these are people with where development and language development is severely impaired, and this is one very clear case of autism. But the high functioning autism, which is now talked about, and there's a lot more awareness about it. So this is referred to as one of the characteristics of this is that they say that people on the spectrum don't understand subtext. So this is what's said. They take things literally and they don't understand subtext. And so I have thought and learned a lot about this, especially since I met Alon, but even before this, that and more and more I've come to think that this is a very inaccurate way to think about it. So I think that speaking for Alon, he's very, very able, very sensitive to reading subtext and then converting it into something explicit, making the implicit into something explicit. And I think neurotypicals are so used to speaking implicitly. I think from a very young age, like children, it's a funny thing. Children say things that they're not supposed to say, and then they're being punished by parents. Like, oh no, you don't say that. So this is how we learn. I include myself in the neurotypicals from a very young age. That there are certain things that we shouldn't say out loud, but we should say it like in a roundabout way, or we should only think it and not say it. And this is most people, like the neurotypicals. I learned to do this. And for people that are not neurotypical, this is much harder to do. They don't understand, like, why can't I just say the truth? And so most of them still learn it. This is referred to as masking. They learn to adapt themselves to the neurotypicals, but still it's always inside of them. This is the way they understand it. It still creates this really uneasy feeling of like why do I have to say something that isn't completely true? Why all this implicit? And it makes them very, very, very uncomfortable. So the change in my thinking has been twofold. One is that the view that the problem is with the neurodivergent. And again, this is because they're the numerical minority. So if you're the minority, you must be the problem. And the neurotypicals, they're the ones that understand, because we understand subtext. And I really have started to think differently about it, that actually the neurotypicals are the ones that are not able anymore.
I know what you're talking about.
To read, to see the reality without these filters of having to go roundabout. And like sometimes, like in the beginning, it's interesting when Alon would say something to me.
Come join us.
Then he can come. Alon would talk to me, and I would respond to the subtext that I interpreted. And then Alon would say, but this is not what I said. And I was really hard for me to take away my lens through which I would interpret the things and to actually listen to the actual text. So I think the impairment is actually with the neurotypicals not being able to hear the explicit, and only they hear the implicit, because this is what we're gotten so used to. And so another...
Yeah, neurotypicals are so stupid.
Yes. And most neurodivergent are very well able to learn the implicit as well, and then they're actually much better to do this translation than neurotypicals are, and this is why there's a lot of confusion between them. But how this relates to the political topic is that I think it's a very powerful tool of liberalism to maintain systems of oppression. They say we want freedom and democracy and equality for all, but they don't actually mean that.
I want to let people see
Benny.
see
Yeah.
Benny.
Yeah.
He is now it's a guest appearance.
Yeah, he comes often. Look at you. So I think in this sense, this act of making the implicit explicit is actually...
I'm sorry, I have to answer this comment. I was watching your channel for the first time, and I thought Alon was Palestinian. I want to tell you that yesterday, I told Tamar after this incident that happened, I told Tamar, that's it. I'm calling myself Palestinian. And fuck the world. I'm Palestinian. Okay? I'm Palestinian. And if you don't like it, that's your problem. I'm Palestinian. I was born in Palestine. And that makes me Palestinian. So, okay.
No. Benny, like in Benjamin. No, he's got no relation. So...
What?
He says to change his name because Benny, as in Benjamin, I think they're talking about Benjamin Netanyahu, or Benny Gantz for that matter.
There are a lot of Benjamins.
There's so many, it doesn't even matter. But his name is Benny because I actually found him in a town called Binyamina.
Okay.
And this is why his name is Benjamin, or Benny for short. But yeah, no relation, not to Benny Gantz, not to Ben Gvir, not to Benjamin Netanyahu.
We sometimes call him, jokingly,
Yes.
We call him Benny Gvir because he is a little bit territorial and he tends to sometimes behave just a little bit like a Zionist. Okay?
So
but this is a joke, okay? He's the sweetest
so
cat.
Sweet.
He's the sweetest cat in the world, okay?
Yes.
Okay, you want to take a small break and I will answer
Yes.
some questions and then
But I
we
just
will
wanted to finish
up.
the one thought that I had is that
Yes.
that making the implicit explicit, and I think this is what Alon actually did in the last live that he did about with Piers Morgan, is a very important political act because this implicity is what liberalism thrives on, and it's one way, very powerful way to obfuscate their crimes. And this way you can do the double speak. You say that you're for equality and freedom and you condemn whatever wrongs in the world, but at the same time you're actually participating with it actively, and so this thing that you're doing, you do it automatically. Oftentimes, like, okay, someone
It's
is
not
saying
automatically.
something.
I don't know. It's also worked for me.
It's worked for you, but it's like,
Yes.
wait a minute. So actually, what you're saying is this, and this, and this. So it makes people very angry because it's like calling them out. And oftentimes this is completely unaware. Like they don't think that this is what they're saying. But when you do an actual translation of what they're saying implicitly, and you make it explicit, they become very angry because it's like putting a mirror and exposing what their true beliefs are beyond this kind of layer of like vague speak and implicit meanings.
Yes.
So I think being neurodivergent is a very powerful political. I don't want to say tool because it's not something that you can choose or something, but it's an asset, I think, in this sense. But I believe that neurotypicals, even though we are impaired, we can learn this as well. So.
Okay, so you want to take a small break? I will answer a couple of questions.
Yeah, I'll just sit there. I'll just.
Oh, but then we can continue.
Yeah.
Let's just continue.
Yeah, we can continue. Yeah.
Let's continue. Okay,
You brought me water, so I'm fine.
Okay, so the next part of this story, my sister and her husband already left. And then my younger sister continued the policing, okay?
Why did you... Oh, what about you? Oh, okay, yeah, right, sorry. Yeah.
My mother?
Your mother, yeah, she stayed at that point.
She was just... Because they came together, okay? My sister was staying at my mother's place. And they came together, so my mother was standing beside her and waiting for her to leave as well. But then my sister had to tell me off as well. And this was a long argument. But I think that the most important thing that I want to tell about it was that she really brought in a lot of personal things into this. She didn't really speak about what happened at that moment. She wasn't upset about, she was upset about what was happening at that moment, but she brought a lot of other things into it. Okay?
Yeah.
And I think that this is another trick, okay? That you take the what was happening there was that I talked about a political issue, and I talked against the system, and the system tried to silence me, okay? But the way that it worked is that my sister now takes all kinds of personal stuff, like things that she feels about me on a personal level, about our personal relationship, and she puts it inside and she uses it. She uses it. She doesn't even know that she uses it. Like, okay, the way that I think about it is that she has all kinds of stuff that she wants to talk to me about, and she can't talk to me about it because she's, I don't know, because it's awkward, because she's scared to talk to me about it, because she feels uncomfortable talking to me about it, because she doesn't because she doesn't want to feel like it's hard for her to admit that she feels these negative feelings, all kinds of stuff. Okay, and then in this situation, suddenly she's like, yeah, this is my opportunity to talk about it, right? But this, I don't, it's hard to explain, but like the system creates a situation in which like a valve is opened, and now my sister has an opportunity to throw all kinds of shit at me in this situation, and she thinks that she's actually raising actual subjects that you want to speak about with me, but actually what is happening is that the system is using her to silence me through these personal issues. Okay, so I don't know, do you have some stuff? I don't know if we want to go we've been talking for such a long time.
Yes.
I don't know if we want to go into all the details. But
no, I don't think we have to go into the details.
Maybe
I think we can try to
but she did
take out of it what's
she did try to present it. Like I told her, why am I upset? Because there's a genocide going on. And she was like, no, that's not true.
You tried to make it personal. Yeah. I think this is probably the main thing to say about it.
Yes.
That, like we said earlier, everybody has their own like tactic to silencing, and that her style of silencing is making it seem like a personal thing.
Yes.
And so she talks about how it's difficult for her to have fights in the family and all the tension in the family. And the important thing to note here is that she put the blame on you.
Yes.
And not on the brother-in-law, because again, this is where we got confused, and then we're replaying it in our minds. Like, what made this something that could have been minor into a major thing is this act of the brother-in-law of we are leaving. And with this, obviously, this anger, this
and also telling me something very disrespectful, like him telling me, "Oh, I thought we agreed we're not gonna bring this shit in."
Yes, of course, that's what it started. But like as he said that, he started preparing to leave, even though we weren't done with the evening. Yes. So this, even though he is the one that catalyzed this, the blame was being put on Alon for creating a fight. And she also put the blame on you for that.
Yes.
And she then talked about how hard it is for her within this family and with the fights and things like that, making it into something that is not related to the actual thing, which is what is happening and what you're being silenced about.
Yes.
And this whole non-symmetrical situation to begin with, where there are certain conditions that are being placed upon us. I say you all the time, but it's also on me, of course.
It's not placed on you. I think they don't.
No, I don't talk about it either.
No, but I'm saying they don't put it on you. They put it on me.
Yeah, no, they put the blame.
I'm the problematic one.
They put the blame on you, but I am also not allowed to speak about it.
Yes. You were also not allowed to speak about it. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they didn't need to say it because I wasn't one that breached the silence to begin with. I'm not the one that brought it up in the first place, so there was no need. But But obviously, this is clear that this goes for everyone, right? And especially if you you have the opinion that is wrong, that is not acceptable. So these are the two things maybe to say about her part in this, that it's making it personal and making it like into a personality flaw that is yours.
Yes.
Yes. And this is very
it was. She used a lot of therapy speak.
Yes.
Okay. Not to disrespect your profession.
No, go ahead.
But your profession sucks.
Yes, I know. I mean, if it's being co-opted and being weaponized, as I like to say these days,
yes.
by liberals and by anti-change forces, then I agree with you completely.
Yes. So she used a lot of therapy speak to
Yes.
present me as like this toxic, problematic figure that causes problems all the time, and I need to work on myself, and blah 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 blah, and why am I hurting her feelings, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
like
this
that.
was the crazy thing. There was so much projection going on because
Yes.
you literally had not said anything to her. You had not directed to her any insults, or you didn't accuse her of anything, and yet she was talking about this as if you did.
Yes.
As if she wasn't part of this, but she made it as if it was part of her and it was against her.
Yes. She felt personally attacked.
She did, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
she wasn't.
Let's tell the specific thing that was like the most obvious example of this. Another similar thing happened a few days earlier because there was like a gathering at my aunt's place. This happened today, and they invited us on the family, like the extended family WhatsApp group. They invited us, and Tamar and I asked, will the food there be vegan? And we clarified that the reason that we're asking is that we do not, on principle, we do not participate in events where that are based on exploitation and murder of non-human animals. And we explained this, and
yes,
this.
I think we explained it saying like by participating in it, it normalizes it,
yes.
And we don't want to normalize it. So this is all we wrote, and
Yes.
then she brought this up yesterday, even though this is what we wrote you wrote this in the family app, and nobody responded, and afterwards we understood that you're not doing it vegan and we're not coming. But anyway, this was the message in the WhatsApp group, and then this person, your sister, all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, we didn't exchange with her a single word about this family gathering happening and whether or not we're going to be there and whatever food's going to be there. And all of a sudden she like pulls this out of her sleeve and started saying, yeah, and you're saying like I'm a bad person but you're the ones being the problem by not coming, and yes, she even blamed us for it. Like she said, like, yeah, because of your behavior, people will never I don't even know what she said.
I don't remember the exact phrasing, but
she took it as a personal attack on her, even
yes.
though her name was never mentioned.
Yes, she was not part of that.
Yes.
And then she uses it to like attack me, and I don't know. It's all you can go into the details of this,
yes.
but I think that the bottom line is again that this is just the system using the psychology of the servants of the system to police those who dare go against the system. It's always like that. It's always like that again and again and again and again and again. And I see more and more and more and more and more examples of this.
And we know that when we make that decision of not coming, and when we write that message, and initially we didn't really go into an explanation. It was only later when she asked, oh yeah, it's going to be like this, but there's going to be vegan options. Then only did we explain, no, it's not about us having vegan options. It's about normalizing, if there's any animal products, it's about normalizing that. It's not about whether or not we have something to eat. So only then did we go into that explanation. But I know that most people reading that would think, oh, here they come again. Why they're always being like this? And
then they will whisper among themselves about how problematic we are.
Yes.
And we know this. We understand this.
Yes, and this is the same with everything. This is the same if talking about the genocide, here goes again being political, and this is very much the way to dismiss and trivialize it, and to put the blame for speaking about something and taking a stand against something, a principled stand, making it into a personal flaw of you.
Yes. Oh, and afterwards, after my younger sister left with my mother, we had a very long discussion with my father.
Oh God, that's a whole episode.
That's a whole episode within itself. But the only thing that I will say about this is that my father is a fundamentally good person. You can debate about other people, but you cannot debate about my father. He's a fundamentally good person who was captured by the cult of Zionism. A lot of propaganda and indoctrination was shoved into his brain, and we tried to speak with him about the genocide in Gaza and about Zionism in general, and this connected also to our own relationship, and we had a long conversation about this, and the bottom line is that there are walls of denial, of obfuscation, of manipulation that are there, that are completely impenetrable. It's a closed system that you cannot.
Yes, you try everything. You try appeals to emotion. You try appeals to logic. You try
talking about facts.
Yes.
You try making
asking
it personal.
Questions.
You try asking questions.
Everything.
Nothing works.
Yes.
Nothing works. Talking to a wall. It's like talking to a wall.
It is.
And it's so fucking sad.
It is so sad. And again, at some point, I said that it's just very painful to see that instead of being proud of him, that he feels like it's a problem, that he's not proud of. And I said, like, Alon is very, because you're like the subject of the conversation, is indeed a very special person, because it is not common. That's like an understatement. It's so unique, like to speak up the way that you do, and to reach the conclusions that you do in this environment, in the social environment, and still be able to see the things and reality so clearly, and to withstand all that social pressure, and it's just so sad that doing this channel and everything, that he doesn't get any kind of recognition for that from his father. I mean, you can get recognition from other people, and I think it's really, really important, because of the lack of appreciation and because of the level of animosity. So you need something to kind of balance it out. But not getting it from your own parents, not getting it from your own father, will always leave this hole, no matter like how many other people say, like, no, it's good what you're doing. It's like this gaping hole that's there of like and there's this, you deserve it. Like he should be so proud of you. And to not get that recognition from your father is really, really hard.
And another subject that I want to raise here, which was a recurring theme in that conversation, is that, like, my father was speaking bullshit about how the Muslims, we are naive and the Muslims are taking over Europe and blah blah blah, all this bullshit.
Yes.
Okay, you know the bullshit.
Mm-hmm. And it did make me realize that this is apparently a kind of a rampant thing, that probably under the surface, this is what makes a lot of people being Zionist or Western supremacists. This
Islamophobia and Western supremacy goes hand in hand.
This is become a kind of like a major ingredient.
Yeah, Islamophobia is the new anti-Semitism. I think.
Yes,
it had the same role as
yesterday
anti-Semitism.
was a case in which made me realize just a bit more just how central of an element that is.
Yes. So my father was expressing Islamophobic bullshit, and I told him, okay, but why do you think this? Because if you want to speak about, he makes a claim, so you want to speak about the claim, so make the claim explicit. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yes.
And he's like, no, I don't know any specific things. I just heard some stuff, and I know. So I'm like, okay, what did you hear? What did you hear? And he's like, no, I don't know. And then his defense was, I'm not like you. I don't have time. I don't have all the time. You don't work. Because he works very hard. Okay, my father works very hard. I will give him that. And he has a lot of money because he is a very successful attorney. Okay, and this means that he is a very well-to-do person financially, and he supports me financially. I could not have been. I could not do this if my father was not supporting me financially. Okay, this is why. Join my Patreon, okay? Because so that I have financial freedom, okay? But I could not do this without the help of my father, and I truly appreciate it. Okay, I truly appreciate it. I'm not saying this just to as lip service. I truly appreciate it. Okay, but I don't appreciate that he then uses it against me, because what did he do? He said, "You don't work. You have time to read everything and to think about things," as if this is not the work that I told him that I was doing, and that's why I'm asking him for help. Okay, as if this is not my job, as if this does not mean that I work hard. Yes, I work hard against the system, so the system is not rewarding me. I'm not working hard for the system. What was the good direction that my life could have gone in? I was doing, I finished my master's in mathematics, okay? I could have gone to a high-tech company in Israel, that is, I could have joined the military industrial complex. I could have served the system in all kinds of ways. I could have developed, technology which would be used for weapons to kill people. I could have done it, but I couldn't really because I can't do it.
And some very concrete stories that were really like crossroads in which you realized you couldn't do it.
Yes.
Such as like this someone that came from Rafael to speak, and you doesn't matter. That's maybe
that's a story that I told a few times on this channel. Like very concrete examples of why this was not the correct thing to do. Okay, and then I became more and more aware of the atrocities of the system, and I became more and more committed to being a dissident against the system.
Yes.
And it's a sad fact, which is what we began with, that the system rewards cooperation, rewards immoral behavior, because the system is so rotten. You have to be rotten like the system to be rewarded by the system.
Yes.
And if you go against the system, it's not only that you won't be rewarded, you will be punished again and again and again and again.
Yes, in all different realms, socially, financially, materially, in all different ways. And also, at the end of the day, by your very basic freedom and security, if you go far enough.
Yes. And this means that I cannot do the good that I think that I'm doing. This is what I think, that I'm doing the right thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. I can't do it and make a living. I can't. Mm-hmm. And then my father uses it against me. And I must say, this was the most hurtful thing that he ever told me. Like this pettiness, this weird, like, are you helping me out of true generosity, or do you want to hold this over my head to control me?
And he also said, which I thought was not less hurtful, is like some other parents would cut the ties with their children if they were to speak like this.
Yes.
So he said it in order to say like, look how good I'm treating you, because of course I'm not going to cut.
And he wouldn't
do it. But even entertaining this as an example of saying like in some way saying, this is what I think about the things that you say. I see this could be a reason to cut contact with your child, because this is the way and this is what other parents do, just to kind of like signal, just so you know how extreme you are. Yeah, it's like a veiled threat in a way. Yes.
But again, this is not my father speaking.
No.
This was not my father speaking. My father wants to help me. My father wants to see me happy. My father does appreciate me. He does. He knows deep down. He knows that I'm right. He knows that I see the truth. He knows that my heart is in the right place. He knows that I'm a good person. He knows that I'm doing the right thing. He knows deep down. But the system, the Zionist cult, is using my father against me. And this is not him speaking when he's saying these things, but I saw my father's mouth moving and saying these things, and this still hurts. It, even though I know it's not him,
Yes.
it still hurts. You cannot avoid it.
Because it is true, and it is being said. It is being said. He did say those things.
Yes, it is true that he did say those things. And this is the bottom line. That we can speak about how it's the system doing it, but the bottom line is that these people, my family, my friends, all the people that did all the things that they did, yes, the system made them do it, but they did it.
Yes.
And it's their responsibility to stop doing it. It's their responsibility. We cannot make them stop doing it. We cannot make anyone. We cannot force. They say you're forcing your opinions. You're forcing
Yes.
your opinions.
And this is true for also for system change. I
Yes.
think this we should wrap it up because I think
Yeah,
we've been going very
yeah.
long. But when we talk about individual change versus systems change, but how is the system going to change? Not by aliens, not by beings from outer space. There's still individuals within the system, and there's still individual minds that needs to change and see the things in different ways so that they want to change those same systems. It's not gonna happen in some kind of a magical way by fairies from another universe. So those two are just completely interconnected, and
The system is propped up by people. It was created by people.
yes,
And it is maintained by people, and it is propped up by people, and only people can stop maintaining it and dismantle it.
yes,
This is the true individual choice that we all have. This is the true freedom that we all have, to stop cooperating as much as we can. Stop cooperating as much as we can.
as much as we can.
And my family last night, every single one of them chose to cooperate in their own unique way.
Yes, yes,
And this was their choice. This was their choice.
yes.
And they carry responsibility for it.
Mm-hmm. They do. They do.
Okay, so moral of the story. Let's say what we want people to take away from this story. One, the system will use your loved ones against you in very, very manipulative ways that are very, very difficult to resist the moment you start going against the system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This is one moral of the story. And the more we understand these mechanisms, the more we can go, the more power we have. Okay? Two, solidarity is very, very important. Please tell each other your experiences, listen to each other, okay? And teach each other about how the system operates so that we can resist more effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And three, it is the personal responsibility of each and every single individual to stop cooperating with the system, to start resisting the system as much as we can. And only when enough people choose to stop cooperating and to start resisting, only then will we start seeing significant change.
I wanna close this by actually saying something that your dad said last night.
Okay.
And this is when we started really to appeal to his just, I don't know, his own personal feelings about you as you being his son. When you said, but I'm a good person. I have, I only want good for everyone. And he said, yes, if everyone was like you, then the world would be a wonderful place. And then he said, I think even if 1 million of the people in the world were like you, then it will be a wonderful place.
Yeah.
And I think you went down to 100,000. And if 100,000 people were like you, the world would be a wonderful place.
Yeah, this was a very nice thing that he said.
And we said, yes, this is right. So he knows, somewhere he knows. And it's this sense of futility, which is another enemy of us. Like, oh, but it'll never happen. You're living in utopia.
Yeah.
And this is another thing to remember, you know?
Yeah.
How discouragement is something that can also deaden us and kill our motivation and our will and our fighting spirit, and not to let it.
Okay. We didn't manage to keep it succinct, as usual. Thank you, everyone, for being with us.
Thank you, yeah.
Thank you so much, Tamar. You're amazing.
Thank you.
I couldn't do anything that I'm doing without Tamar's help. Okay, so please write in the comments how much you love Tamar as well, and how much you want to see and hear more of Tamar.
And I'll add that, as the meme goes, behind every strong woman stands a cat. So thank you, Benny.
Thank you, Benny, for being with us, the real star of the show.
For supporting me, yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Free Palestine, free the entire
everyone.
planet, free everyone, free all living beings. May all living beings live together in freedom, in equality, prosperity, love. Okay? It's on us. It's on us to bring a revolution and to make this planet a better place for everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.